Hi everybody, it's Tripl-L, and now let's chat about the Fairy Tail sequel. We knew this thing was coming out since like July. We knew that this thing was being rumored from a long time. We knew that Mashima was dropping hints for a while, but it finally came out. Fairy Tail: The 100 Years, the 100 Years Quest. I shouldn't be messing up on the title. It's very simple. Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. That is the title of this sequel. So, guys, if you're a Fairy Tail fan, congrats! You get the continuation of your manga, and the best part about it is that it is a direct sequel. This manga takes place right after the ending of the original Fairy Tail manga. So in this video, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of information about this, well, I guess, serialization that we have right now. Gonna give you a little bit of information about that, and also talk about just the stuff that happened in the chapter. We're going back into the old days of Fairy Tail pretty much now. Alright, so one of the first things to note here is that this is being called a sequel in the form of a spin-off manga. That's really what Mashima himself said. What that ultimately means is that you see that it's called 100 Years Quest. Chances are that once this quest is done, the manga itself might be finished. We might have other Fairy Tail sequel spin-offs though. I think that'd be reasonable to expect. And if we have like what's going on with this one, we have the original author, Hiro Mashima. He's working on the storyboard, so pretty much he's doing the rough draft and just the general broad strokes things. And then the person who's actually drawing the manga is a mangaka by the name of Atsuo Ueda. And a quick search of him on my anime list just says that he's been involved in one manga before this. So I'm not sure if he has another type of internet following, because usually manga artists end up doing a lot of doujins and all that kind of stuff. They get involved on the internet and stuff like that. But for now, it's pretty cool. Mashima is working on his new series, Eden Zero, but he has another full-fledged artist doing this Fairy Tail spin-off. And he actually has multiple artists doing different Fairy Tail spin-offs. So the big question is, how much of Hiro Mashima are we going to be getting in this Fairy Tail adaptation now? Chances are a lot. I mean, it's still the storyboards. The storyboards must be things like dialogue, important plot events. I assume that the manga artist gets some liberties, but the broad strokes definitely is going to be Hiro Mashima. It'd be very interesting to know just how the workflow works for this sequel. Now, one of the things to note about this manga is that it is doing a great job building the world of Fairy Tail. It's really cool, and already some of the comments online are people, just pointing out that they do like the world of Fairy Tail. They just wish that this was focused on more. And I'll just show you a very quick screenshot of the first page of this manga. It's really interesting. It starts in the year X633, and it shows a really dark image that is people tied up and crucified, and then you have the context being thrown in. These are mages. Mages were being crucified, and then you have the setup, this man saying that magic is no evil power, and then that they must be protected, and that's the start of the first mage guild. So already, like, this spin-off manga is giving us more substantial history right from the get-go than we got from the original Fairy Tail manga, which is pretty good. It's good to get more information about the world of Fairy Tail. And believe me, from there, like, there's a few more details that get pretty interesting. So with that said, let's start talking about the manga chapter itself. Like I said, this picks up right at the tail end of the Fairy Tail original manga, with Natsu and the gang off to complete the 100 Years Quest. We get so much information in this chapter, and that just really fills out the world. So let's just list out the cool things that we got. We had that beginning with a glimpse of the first guild being founded, and like the kind of prejudice that the mages had to deal with in the past, about 100 years in the past. Then we had information about what the guilds are called, and finally they pointed out, like, it was something that we all noticed was a gimmick with the guilds. They are named after mythological creatures, but thankfully even the characters have acknowledged it. So they just flat out point out, yeah, like, the guilds have always been named after mythological creatures. Although it is interesting to point out that the first guild is Mahia Dragon, and it's just funny to point out that the dragons are actually, like, we've seen a lot of dragons here before, right? Another great detail that we get is just the fact that the 100 Years Quest is a quest that's open to all guilds. You know, when you go into Fairy Tail, you'd think that the 100 Years quest is something that, you know, was just proposed to Fairy Tail, but turns out it was a more general thing. And we finally get more information about the 100 Years quest. You know, that people can't talk about it. This is the quest that Gildarts failed at. This was the quest that Acnologia just all of a sudden showed up at. So when you see like the end of the chapter where the giant dragon comes out, it's very interesting, and I have a theory about why that dragon is there, because you have Acnologia, you know Acnologia is interfering with the 100-year quest, and then you wonder, why didn't Acnologia kill that one law dragon, right? Like, you wonder. So already, pretty interesting mystery you got there. Anyway, the 100 Years quest is on a third continent and no one ever talked about. And it's pretty funny. The manga calls it an unknown continent, but yet you have it to... Okay, I don't know what they're trying to say with unknown. I'm not gonna lie. But you say unknown, but you have mages making a pilgrimage to there. You have mages being able to figure out where the actual guild is. You have them going here at, you know, this is the 99th team of mages that has tried this quest. I don't think that continent's that unknown. But that might honestly be a detail lost in translation. On this continent, we also have a very interesting phenomenon with the weather, and that is that magic is pretty much in solid physical form, such that the guys can make a snowman out of it. And what I'm thinking here, what I think is going on, we end the chapter off meeting a dragon. The dragon is inside of its guild. It clearly has something it needs to do. What I'm thinking is this dragon is the man that we see at the very beginning, because we know that that man founded the first mage guild. Most likely he was a dragon slayer. Most likely he turned into a dragon similar to Eileen. Most likely he's doing something important with the origins of mages or something like that. And then maybe Acnologia actually did kill him, and maybe the only reason he's able to live is just because of the high magic concentration in this area. Maybe that's what lets his dragon form stay there. He might be a dead dragon. So a lot of really interesting like things going on into that first chapter, but really it all centers around this origin of the mage guilds and this dragon, because like the other half of the chapter was just the people at the Fairy Tail Guild establishing what they're about, establishing a character that has a gimmick similar to Yuvia's, establishing that Yuvia got left behind. And one of the things that I think is coming out when you like read that is that I think this manga might be extremely focused on our main crew. I don't think the other characters are going to be popping up that often. Is that a bad thing? Well, unfortunately, I like the other characters. I don't care for this main group all that much. Like, of the 5 that we have there, of the 5 human characters, I care the most about Gray. And I'm pretty sad that, you know, they separated them off from everyone else. But given that this is a sequel spin-off, there's nothing saying that we're not going to get more spin-offs of other characters. So, I'll make my peace with it. Anyway, it's cool. It's a direct continuation of the Fairy Tail story, and it's also giving us lore bits. So if you love the world of Fairy Tail, this might be a pretty promising start. And since this is a different manga artist, maybe we'll be seeing slightly different maneuvers than what we saw with Fairy Tail. So if you really hated the friendship aspect of Fairy Tail, maybe it'll be downplayed a little bit in this one. But ultimately, I'm pretty excited, man. I want to see where this goes. And I want to put one more note. This is, I think, the 3rd time that we've seen people being crucified in Fairy Tail. Like, Fairy Tail has some pretty strong, like, dark imagery, man. But yeah, anyway, this has been me, Tripl-L, and those are my thoughts. I hope you, if you're a fan of Fairy Tail, I highly recommend check out the chapter. I'm not going to tell you how to find it. You can figure it out. The internet is powerful. The Google machine is powerful. Just Google it. Oh, I feel like already that's already too much. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.